How's it going, Honors 3? Happy virtual day. We're going to try to keep this video short today, as I know you guys are working on a whole bunch of stuff, including an essay for our class. Now, as a reminder, I'm actually going to start from the bottom here. Don't forget that I did extend our deadline for the Romanticism essay until the end of Sunday, so today is a work day for it. You can certainly use more of the weekend for it if you need. We'll talk a little bit more about those specs in a moment. One thing I like to do on virtual days is remind you to say a prayer if you haven't done so already. So feel free to pause this video, say a prayer for your learning today if you haven't already. We'll continue from there. All right, let's get this. I should note, normally I would try to put my face on these videos as well, but my webcam isn't working super well. So in any case, you can hear my voice. Let's get to it today. We'll try to keep this one short. So as it says, you are watching the completing your essay video right here. Just want to give a couple of pointers on how to not only type well, but also some of the steps you should take before you submit your Romanticism essay in Schoology. We'll walk through that step as well. Again, the rest of this weekend is yours to type, edit, submit your response. As a friendly reminder, heavily recommend that you don't spend any longer than like an hour, hour and a half total on this entire essay. It's possible that you've done some work already on it, which is great. Today very well could be a day to edit it, to see what you've typed so far, maybe put some finishing touches, check for grammar, those sorts of things. I'm actually going to click on completing your essay video. I did put a copy of the writing prompt here. I'm just going to click view real quick to give you some reminders of some things to look into on this particular prompt. Once again, we talked about this one in class. By now you should have a novel, a play, or a short story in mind, whether it's your own that you thought of, or whether it's one from the list that I provided below to write about. I want you to write about a story in which a character faces heavy consequences. Could be as severe as death or losing people around the character. It could be smaller consequences than that as a result of pursuing his or her desires. At the very least, we all have How Much Land Does a Man Need under our belt, where we know that the basic plot line is that the more Pahom gains his desires, the more he gains land. Notice that the more he wants, the more miserable he is. In any case, just a few reminders as well. Treat this like an AP Literature essay in which you are not necessarily required, I've got it right here, not necessarily required to use direct quotes from the text. They're a nice touch, not required. On the AP exam itself, they would only give you like 45 minutes for this one. They don't expect you to have entire books memorized. You can certainly paraphrase, pull details. They are not going to ding you if you don't have page numbers and such. Again, try to limit your total work time to double that, an hour and 20 minutes or less. I do have that in mind as I grade these things as well. As far as actual typing goes, I highly recommend you use Word Online. I went ahead and pulled up one of my old essays as well. This is actually the sonnet essay I wrote last semester alongside of you guys. Just a few reminders on formatting. So Times New Roman 12 is my favorite font. Their default font is fine. Calibri is fine, as long as it's a similar font size. Might as well give it an MLA heading. So again, your name, then my name, then the course, then the date. Title can't hurt as well. The big thing I'm looking for is your essay itself. Now, my sonnet essay is maybe a little bit long for what I've asked you to write this time. Mine was a little over 2 pages. I would expect in something like an hour worth of total work that you might get something closer to 1.5 pages of your own. Again, you should have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Your body could be split up into multiple paragraphs. It could be one big paragraph if you want. I would remind you that double spacing makes these things easier to grade. So to double space, once again, you can highlight whatever you've typed. Could be one paragraph, could be the whole thing. I usually use these 3 dots right up here, more paragraph options, line spacing, and then 2 is what you want. It didn't change anything on mine because mine's already double spaced, but that would be a good step to take right after you finish. So again, regardless of where you're at with the process now, highly recommend that you take some time to proofread this weekend. Check for things like spelling and grammar. Make sure that your essay sounds right when read aloud. I would ask that you submit it by the end of Sunday. Speaking of submission, that is the last thing I need to show. So inside of today's lesson folder, you've got Romanticism essay. Yours is going to look different from mine. So mine's going to be a Dropbox. It shows me where essays have been submitted. You're going to see that blue upload submission button, and you can follow the steps from there. We're doing this as a Turnitin assignment because A, it makes them easier to read and grade for me. But then B, it also does things like plagiarism checking and AI checking as well. As you guys know, I cannot grade what you did not write. I've jabbered a bit too much. Sorry about the length of this video. I'm going to do my best to cut out as much as I can. But otherwise, blessings on your virtual day. I'll see you guys on Monday as we move into a new project for World War I. Later.